Hey guys, we're riding in my 1993 Honda Civic today, and as you can see, the speedometer is not working now. Sometimes it will work, sometimes it doesn't show anything, and sometimes it will show like way too fast, like 100, 120 miles an hour. I know what's wrong with that. It's common on this car, so I'm going to get this thing parked. I'm going to take that cluster out, and I'm going to show you what we're going after. Alright, here's another example of what it does. It's reading too high after it's reading too low a minute ago. Actually, I'm doing probably about 65 miles an hour on the interstate. I know that's not too bright to be filming this at the same time, but what I'm going to do is give it a whack. Bam. So, there you go. Alright guys, we're in the garage now. We're going to go ahead and we have to get the speedometer assembly out, that whole panel. In order to do that, this bezel here has to come off, and there are two screws underneath the dashboard here. So we can, once that comes off, then that's going to allow us to get to the screws that holds the instrument cluster in. You'll need like a stubby screwdriver. Okay, now that we got those two screws out up here, we're going to have to pry the dashboard, or this part of the dashboard out. I had something going on with my HVAC system, so I went ahead and took that out. You can take yours out if you want, but you have to take this bottom trim piece here out. You have to take your radio out to get to your HVAC system. But what has to happen is your hazard light has to come out, your button for your hazard lights. So you can actually get something thin in there and pull it out. This, for me, it's going to be easier just to pop it out like that. And you see we have a screw hidden right there. We'll go after that. I'm going to go ahead and just disconnect this, put this side. Or how important that was. Okay, so the rest of it should just pop out now. And don't forget your clock is still hooked up, so you're going to need to get that as well. Okay, and we're going to put that over, well, we'll just put that in the back seat. Try not to bump you guys too much. Okay, so just to recap, there were two bolts here. You take your hazard blinker out. There's a bolt there behind your hazard blinker. Make sure you have your hazard blinker and your clock disconnected. You start, just work its way out. Okay, looking at the instrument cluster now, I see 4 Phillips head here, and 2 more on the other side. We'll go after those now. Okay, with those 4 out, I'm pretty sure it just pulls out now. And of course, it's going to have a connector behind it that you'll need to grab as well. Just try to figure out the best way. Alright, so tilt it back and then slide it out like that. Okay. After that, we're going to go after the connectors behind here. I've already got my steering wheel all the way down. Okay, I see 3. This big gray one here. Got a little yellow one here, a green one here. There may be a trick to that one, I can't tell. It's just, okay, it's not a trick, but the pressed down before it was behind it. Okay, we got one more big gray one over here. Just like that. And that big gray one has a clip at the bottom. It's holding it to your instrument cluster. So there we go. That's what we were after. I'm gonna back up, put you on the stand, and show you how we're gonna fix this thing now. All right, what we're looking at here is the back of the instrument cluster. There you go. Of course, your speedometer is right in the middle. Okay, you see these solder welds. They're all over the back of the board here. And what happens with age is those solder welds go bad, they start to dry, they crack, and they need to be what's called reflowed. In other words, you just heat them up until it turns to liquid again, then you stop. After I do that as well, I'm going to come back with a brush and try to get some of this corrosion off of that as well. But that should correct the problem. Let's take a step back here. Got the soldering iron heating up, and we're going to go for it. See, that turns to liquid again. Probably gonna need two different things here. Alright, that looks pretty good. Nothing's wanting to pick up anymore like it was before. You see, I was using the pick to hold it down as the solder cool back down to keep it connected where it's supposed to be underneath there. So that was the goal. Hopefully I got that. We're gonna put this back in the car. To putting it in is the exact opposite of getting it out, so I won't film all of that for you. I'll disconnect my soldering iron here. I'll say also, these are your, here are your bulbs that are behind the dash. So if you have any that are out, now is a good time to go ahead and take care of that. You go to AutoZone, Pep Boys, O'Reilly's, whatever's in your area, and you should be able to get a box of these, and they just twist in and out. Also might take a minute to clean this up a little bit. All right, we're gonna get this back in the car. We're gonna take you for a test run and see how we're doing. Alright guys, I got everything put back together in the old 93 Honda. I'm going to take it out for a test drive and see if we got that fixed or not. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to crank it up, and hopefully I still got my tachometer. And I do. All my dash lights seem to be working correctly. Bright lights, yep, we're good. Alright, so hopefully I didn't at least tear anything else up. I got my HVAC system back together. I'll explain a little bit what happened. This here, it's got a bar that it slides on as it goes back and forth, and that thing had broken off of that on the inside. And you wouldn't believe the jury rig thing I did. I actually took a nail and cut the head off of it and glued it down after I cut the old broken plastic out for this piece to ride along. Everything's still drying now. It looks kind of halfway promising, but I wasn't going to make a video and show something as jacked up as that. But hopefully I got that back working. Okay, we're going to take this down the road. We're going to see if our speedometer is working. Alright guys, it seems like we do have the speedo back. It was very erratic before, jumping all over the place. It'd go up to 100 miles an hour, it would bury itself, and then it would just sit at 0. And it seems to be doing what it's supposed to be doing for the time being. So hopefully that's going to be a fix. I'm going to get the car parked and finish up this video. Okay, we got the girl put back up. She's a loud one. When I bought the car, it was loud like that. I'm not exactly sure what's going on up underneath there, if it's disconnected from the muffler or whatnot. But at any rate, I think I might have said it before, just so you know, that is not a surefire way to fix that. That is a kind of a, I don't feel like digging in the junkyard or buying one of those on eBay, so I'm going to go ahead and try to fix it myself. That's something you can try if you're having problems with yours. It seems it might have worked for me. I hope that's going to be the end of that. I was tired of not having a speedometer. I just was dreading having to pull that thing out. I was also dreading having to pull the HVAC system out, but that's done. The other thing crossed off my list. Appreciate you guys watching. I'll catch you on the next one.